Bill Maher has been popping off recently, and I'm not exactly the biggest fan. Not because he's a liberal or whatever the heck he wants to categorize himself as these days. I just see him as boomer nip. He's a chameleon and he's just trying to stay relevant. But when he says something that's fine, you probably point it out. But he's only saying this stuff, like I said before, just to remain relevant. This was the same guy during the Trump presidency who lost his mind just as much as anybody else that was out there. You remember when he was saying, we need to go ahead and tank the economy because Orange Man's really bad? He had so many bangers during the previous 5 years that this little revelation that all of a sudden, hey guys, I'm the only smart liberal in the room and you were all just too stupid to get on my level. It's a little bit disingenuous. So whenever a clip like this pops off, then you know the boomers are going to be out there, oh my god, this is so great. So that's why we kind of got it from a bit of a tradcon source right here. Liberal host. See guys, he's one of those good liberals. Yeah, it's like these people have the mind and the memory of a goddamn goldfish. It's like it wasn't that long ago he was saying all this dumb stuff, but whenever he rips wokeness, what the fuck is that? Like, you and I both know it's terrible stuff. Like woke ideology, intersectionality, critical theory, critical race theory, intersectional theory, all of that stuff. See, we could have that conversation as to what exactly would be classified as wokeness, but no. That's just a catch-all term. That's just a blanket term. It's like, woke is bad. And it's like, yeah, I agree, but you're just, it's getting played out. It's like when the left would call everything racist at a certain point in time, that all just gets tripe and cliche. So I would argue for curtailing the message and getting directly more on point with the messaging, but I understand, you know, Twitter's got a certain character limit and stuff, but yes, to shreds. He rips wokeness to shreds. A 60... Isn't Bill Maher like pushing 70? It's like, okay, cool. We're seeing geriatrics defend the next generation to try to leave the world a better place than what you found it in. It's like Bill Maher is still the guy who buys box and fucks black hookers. Like, is he really the guy you want to put on a pedestal? But this is a classic example of your traditional conservatives, whatever the fuck you want to call them, just adhering and bowing at the altar of celebrity. Anybody who says anything just mildly intelligent, oh, you just gotta, oh, see, oh, this guy, he's one of ours now. It's like, just stop it. 5 years ago, Abraham Lincoln was not a controversial figure. Well, he kind of should be because he's a bit of a tyrant, but whatever, you don't need to dig too deep into it. Razor Fist did like an hour-long video. Still have to watch that. I haven't got around to it yet. Anyways, among liberals, we liked him. Now we tear down his statues. Come on, guys, realize that tearing down our history isn't so good. Oh, see, he's one of the good ones. He's really fighting back. How is that tearing wokeness to shreds by saying that taking down statues isn't exactly all that deep? If he really wanted to get controversial, because he's talking to Jake Tapper, and we're going to play the clip because obviously at this point in time I'm not just going to narrate all the way over top of it. You know, I got a little bit of dignity about me, but he would talk about Stonewall Jackson statues or Robert E. Lee statues getting removed from state houses if he really wanted to get down to it. But no, he wants to tread that line where he can try to have a toe in two worlds. He wants to straddle that line, sit on that fence, if you will. But let's see if Bill can, you know, add a little spice to this. Maybe it was just an uncharitable clipping of his banal take. It's like, okay, cool.
How do you define wokeness? Because I hear people use the term all the time, and it means something different to everybody.
Well, again, I think it's this collection of ideas that are not building on liberalism, but very often undoing it.
Oh, okay, must be clarifying a definition of wokeness. So, tearing down the ideals and the ideas of liberalism, whatever that means in the West at this point in time, that's another thing that you'd have to define separately. But yeah, woke, intersectionality, all of its underlying principles, yeah, it's all about tearing everything down and just reconstructing it in some ghastly visage. It's not great, but okay.
I mean, 5 years ago, Abraham Lincoln was not a controversial figure among liberals. We liked him. Now they take his name off schools and tear down his statues. Really? Lincoln isn't good enough for you?
Well,
5-10 years ago, bedrock liberalism was we are striving to be a colorblind society where we don't see race.
Except for him when he's picking out his escorts. I was going to say hookers again. I should have just went with hookers.
Of course, we see it, but it doesn't matter.
Pause.
That's not what woke is. Woke is something very different. It's identity. We see it all the time. It's always the most important thing. I don't think that's liberalism.
How do you define?
Are you sure about that? Because it's very interesting, because in order to push your candidates, you were more than willing to just go ahead and adhere to that. But, oh, right, no, we have short-term memory loss around here. He said something good. He tore wokeness to shreds. Now, we watched that minute-long clip. Was anything really torn to shreds except for your attention span? Like, wow, really, really good stuff there, Bill. But boomers will continue to lap this stuff up because he has much more interesting and inflammatory characters on his show, like Russell Brand. Russell Brand, over the weekend, what was that, on Friday or something like that? I know I'm probably the last guy to comment on this, but here's the difference, man. I like Russell Brand, and I've said it multiple times before. I think the video was back when he announced that he was going to have a show on Rumble. I think Russell Brand's metamorphosis into some sort of an independent thinker, because I don't even know what to properly characterize these people at this point in time, I think it's genuine. I think he believes what he says, and he says what he believes. There's no trying to glom on to relevance. Like, he'll be fine for the rest of his life. Like, he's loaded when it comes to cash. He still gets royalties. He's a funny guy. He can go out on tour and make a whole lot of money on the comedy scene. Like, Russell Brand is fine. He's got fuck you money, and he's got fuck you connections. He can go ahead and do anything he wants. So the fact that he's putting himself out there when it comes to a bunch of different topics, ones that we can't really freely discuss on YouTube, if you know what I mean, I think it's genuine. And he's been fairly congruent about that stuff. As far as I know, like, I'm not a Russell Brand viewer, not a fan or anything like that. All I've seen is some previous examples prior to his kind of shift in mindset, and then everything that he's done post starting his podcasts. Like, I first really became aware of his mental transition back when Jordan Peterson was first on the come up, and had him on his show a couple different times, and I thought that his interviewing style was very good. They had a very good back and forth, or quite a good dynamic. And yes, this was a pre-hospitalization Peterson, which was a much different animal than the Daily Wire caged beast that we see right now. But Russell Brand has definitely continued to push the envelope. So when he hopped on Bill Maher's show, I just thought, oh great, it's just some more boomer nip that's going to show up. Oh my god, Bill Maher, he's fighting against the left. Oh, he's the one sane one that's left. It's like, no, actually, Russell Brand was the one who was pushing the envelope, and Bill Maher was like, okay, guys, we just need to calm down for a second. But the reason why I want to pump up a Russell Brand pause is because I've seen congruency through him throughout the years, even prior to him being an independent thinker. Russell Brand's searing rant about propagandists NBC or MSNBC goes viral. Well, whatever are you talking about? Now we can get that stupid flat. It's like the New York Post for the past 3 days have had these stupid fucking animated ads, and it pisses me off. Anyways, Russell Brand blasted leftist news network MSNBC for its propagandist nut-crackery in a searing rant Saturday, which has gone viral. Okay, so it was all popping off yesterday. So I'm not that late to the hop on this one, okay? I was much more interested in talking about Chris Rock and kind of fleshing out all of my old content on yesterday. Anyways, that's why you could see a wreath in the background. It's like, it's fucking March. It's like Christmas decorations. I've been down for 2 months. Anyways, the popular podcaster, he's much more than just a podcast. Well, maybe that's what he's most known for right now. It's kind of like Joe Rogan. What do you associate Joe Rogan with right now? Probably his show. Well, he's also a stand-up comedian who I've never actually found funny, and UFC commentator. He's got 3 very important hats, but everybody just kind of associates him with being in somewhat engaging personality. Again, just some normie nip that's out there. Saturday, when he accused fellow guest John Heilemann, a political activist, oopsie daisy, just a bit of a slip there, analyst from MSNBC and NBC, of hypocrisy for attacking rival outlets. I have to say, that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different than the biases exhibited on MSNBC. Exactly. Fox News is not your friend, guys. Like, I've been saying that for a long time as well, and you can tell. Like, they just push the milquetoast, room temperature takes on things and never really push anything forward. Like, what stars has Fox News created? Can't think of them either? Yeah, exactly. How well is Bill O'Reilly's podcast doing? Great, fantastic. Are any different? Yes, than the biases there. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It's a propagandist Nut-Crackery on there. And that's when I remember him being there. And we got some video. Oh my God, we got a melding of worlds here for a second, and I'm very happy to show it. Anyways, Brand then recalled his 2013 appearance on Morning Joe, which previously went viral for Brand's disbelief at the inanity of the questioning and treating him like an extraterrestrial while referring to him as Willie. Oh yes, I remember it, but I couldn't quite find the clip itself. All I remember is how I was exposed, to the clip itself. And yeah, I'm very happy to do this. Is what you all do. Oh, is this what you all do for a living? Oh, okay, he's just going to recap the interview? Well, Oh, no, this was the back and forth that was on there. Sorry, my mistake. He mocked the interviewers at the time, asking what's wrong with your manners. Okay, yeah, no, we'll watch it. We'll watch it here in a second. On Saturday, he told Heilemann that it was absurd the way that they carried on. I don't know what it was. It wasn't the morning. There was no one called Joe there. No, yeah, right. He wasn't even in the clip at that point in time. It was just that other goofy broad who's related to somebody rich and famous. No one could concentrate, and they didn't understand the basic tenets of journalism. Yeah, they just thought, oh, this guy's just a goofy comedian. We're a serious news show. I think to sit within the castle of MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous. Make MSNBC better. Well, you can take a look at the talent that's over there, and you kind of know why it can't be any better than it is. Heilemann accused the comedian of not having a single actual fact because he didn't actually know. Did he actually him in real time? Holy, know anything about any of these organizations you're talking about. You've been on MSNBC once. Big fucking deal, he said. Yeah, but Russell Brand's also been in movies, and he doesn't even have to pull the clout card. You are a motherfucker behind the scenes at NBC and MSNBC. How many dudes run in and out of that place on a daily basis, and nobody knows who the fuck they are? And you're trying to clout check Russell goddamn Brand, who's been relevant and famous for 20 goddamn years? Like, bruh, you need to simmer down for a second. Brand shot back, my darling, it was more than enough. It was such a carry-on defending his network. Oh my God, I'm one of the good ones that are out here. Please don't fire me. Heilemann asked for a specific example of MSNBC correspondent or anchor being on television saying something they knew was false. Oh, Brand noted the ludicrous, outrageous criticism of Joe Rogan around ivermectin. Yeah, no, exactly. And deliberately referring to it as horse medicine when they knew this was an effective medicine. Yeah, well, CNN did that too, shut up. And what of Rachel Maddow turning up on TV saying, if you take this jab, you're not gonna get, yep, exactly. You have to listen to it, Brand told Heilemann. And the one clip viewed 12 million times on Twitter. By the way, it's 12.1 million times, so you just need to figure out your sources for a second. So instead of just running it all down, why not we just peek in for a second, shall we?
John, I've not known you long, but I love you already. But I have to say that it's disingenuous to claim that the biases that are exhibited on Fox News are any different from the biases exhibited on MSNBC. It's difficult to suggest that these corporations operate as anything other than mouthpieces for their affiliates.
Yo, why do all the people that work for those left-wing outlets well, they all just have the problem glasses to begin with, but why do they always just kind of have that posture that makes them look like a question mark? Like, they're just not the people that they put in front of the camera are much more attractive, but it's touch and go.
Owners in BlackRock and Vanguard, and unless we start to embrace, and also, mate, like just spiritually, if I may use that word in your great country, we have to take responsibility for our own perspective. I've been on that MSNBC, mate. It was propagandist Nut-Crackery.
He is big broing him over and over again. Like, he's just power checking him over and over again by just controlling his body posture. It's like, listen, I'm just going to be talking right here. And he's so much more charismatic. We haven't even heard the other guy talk, but you already know it's going to be a disappointment. A rip wife, if he even has one.
It was absurd the way they carried on.
Good morning, Joe.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It wasn't morning. There was no one called Joe there. No one could concentrate. They didn't understand the basic tenets of journalism.
Oh man, the way that the New York Post wrote that up, like that was supposed to be delivered as a joke. Oh, goddamn.
No one was willing to stick up for genuine American heroes like Edward Snowden. No one was willing to talk about Julian Assange and what he's suffered trying to bring real journalism to the American people. And I think to sit within
Cue Ball is just dumbfounded.
MSNBC throwing rocks at Fox News is ludicrous.
My friend,
Make MSNBC better. Make MSNBC great again.
My friend, the moment.
Yo, look at that, okay? Like, he's trying to just big bro him once again. But the body language on that, just absolute ham sandwich that's over there. Just leaning back, just trying to get away from him. Just trying to be like, I don't know, I can also grab for purchase as well. Just, oh no, please. I can go toe-to-toe with a charming, charismatic comedian who's been on multiple Hollywood sets. No, I'm just as good. Let me defend my queen, NB-fucking-C. Jesus.
Fight them on a territory you can win on, Joe.
Russell, darling, the moment that you give me a specific example, an actual example.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Wait, just wait. Wait.
No, you gotta commit to it, bro.
Let me tell you what the specific I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear a specific example, a provable specific example of an MSNBC correspondent or anchor being on television saying something they knew was false, and we're saying behind the scenes to people, I'm about to go out, and we know that the election wasn't stolen, or something equivalent.
Example.
But I will go.
Oh, anything that Rachel Maddow said in regards to Russiagate. Rachel Maddow also leaking Trump's 2017 tax returns, something like that. Yeah, no, her crying over the Mueller report, literally, okay. Oh, I thought we had them this time around, or run back any of their takes when it comes to 2016 and the fact that Trump was an illegitimate president. No, that's so nice. Anyways.
I will go out on television and say the opposite. I will lie.
When's my answer?
Just give me the specific example.
I understand the basic point.
Give me a specific example.
All right.
I'm with you. I think it's a
He's just
false
trying to
equivalency
debate, bro.
rate.
No, it's not. That's your own bias.
It's not about bias. It's a false equivalency because you don't actually know anything about any of these organizations you're talking about. You've been on MSNBC once. Big fucking deal.
My darling, it was more than enough.
You can't come out with
such a
Oh my God.
you have a single
deal.
actual fact.
Do you want an example?
Yes.
The ludicrous, outrageous criticisms of Joe Rogan around ivermectin, deliberately referring to it as a horse medicine when they know it's an effective medicine.
Yeah, that's not a
Oh, see, yo, what the fuck? But no, he's giving him an example, and he's trying to talk over him. He's like, I wasn't prepared for this. I just thought that I've been so entrenched into this media machine that I didn't think anybody could actually come forward with a legitimate excuse. Like, come on, man. Everything that we say is true and honest. That's why. A lot of people like to throw around, oh, they're just being evil. Oh, mass media. They're trying to push a narrative. That guy's been on the scene for however the fuck long. Like, he bounces between, Big Brother and Big Sister there, NBC and MSNBC, whatever the fuck he does behind the scenes. They legitimately believe their bullshit, okay? That's what that tells me right there. They think that what they're saying is the actual truth, and they think that they're getting to the bottom of things. And that's why the best thing that you can do if you don't like anything that's on the air, anything that's online, you can just go ahead and turn it off. If you don't like what I'm saying, hey man, there's a bunch of other people that are out there. I appreciate it if you do stick around, and I just come correct with the source material whenever we have an opportunity, and that's why I think that my coverage of things is a particular type of good, as opposed to the likes of, you know, mass media that's just funded out the wazoo and can push a narrative that they don't even have to think about, bro. But let's see, we still got a minute left.
Standing up on the TV saying if you take this vaccine, you're not going to get it when it has been
Non-responsive.
clinically trialed for transmission.
Non-responsive.
You have to listen.
Wait.
Do you think you can
Not a
improve
response.
America
I
by
think we could all be
determinedly
better.
and avowedly
No.
condemning Fox News without acknowledging?
No, just look at how far he's leaning back. Just got to do a body language check on that. Not responsive. No, just shut up. I'm just going to try to filibuster until the break shows up.
That you're participating in the same game. Did you not just listen to Bernie Sanders, someone
Yeah.
who plainly, legitimately believes in this country and believes it's possible to change, but is bound by corruption, is bound by the lobbying?
Yeah, Bernie Sanders is definitely a weird one because he believes his certain brand of socialist horseshit. It's just, it's awful. It's just awful.
System. Surely it's clear to you, Bill, as one of the great pundits and experts and comic voices, that systemic change is required. Money has to be taken out of politics. We need new political systems that genuinely represent ordinary Americans. So
And that's why I laugh so hard at the dissimps that are out there. He's all funded by that old money. Like, come on, he's got the sign-off from Karl Rove, from Jeb Bush, all of that old neocon money. But no, he's the change that we need. Meanwhile, Trump, who's totally independent. But no, you just fucking idiots.
so that we can overcome cultural differences, and bickering about which propagandist network is the worst is not going to save a single American life, not improve the life of a single American child, not going to improve America's standing in the world, and the world needs a strong America. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. So you have an obligation, a duty, not to condemn these people.
Oh, that was, not bad. It was pretty, like, boilerplate shit. Like, yeah, we need independent voices that are out there. Could have summed it up that way. But, of course, you know, he's got to put on a show. He's got on his best striped blazer, all of his swag, all of his peacocking that he's doing. And, of course, yeah, he's sitting in the big man chair right in the middle of the screen. He's just, you know, lampooning the dork that's over there. Bill Maher's just checked out for a second. But that's what Russell does. And that's what he's always done. That's why I do appreciate him. And now, for the first time in a long time, I can bring you guys some good old Opie and Anthony from back in the cut. Like, it's been a hot second. Like, I've been a listener for, oh my God, probably going on 10 years at this point in time. It's funny, my relationship with O&A show. I got into it. I can probably pinpoint the date for you specifically, but it was September of 2014. The show officially went off the air after the 4th of July of 2014, so I completely missed it while it was going. And I've subsequently filled in just about all of the gaps, as much as the stuff that was out there. And thankfully, in the subsequent years, even though it's kind of died down quite a bit recently, there were some great creators that were out there, Video O&A being one of them. We're going to check and peek one of these videos that's out here, because this is Russell Brand on MSNBC with that Morning Joe clip, where this was when I really knew that, you know, Russell's kind of a stand-up guy, and mass media is kind of sketchy, and Anthony Cumia and Jim Norton are fucking hilarious, but that goes without saying. So we can go ahead and compare and contrast, because, oh yeah, the MSNBC best boy that showed up on Real Time, he said that Russell Brand had absolutely no idea how these organizations operate on a daily basis. Well, we got the proof right here with a bit of commentary over the top of it. I don't know if this is going to get copy claimed or anything like that, but I'll just try to stop and interject whenever I feel like it. But the boys are pretty much going to take over from here. So, without further ado,
I hate using
All right,
the word.
joining us now, he's a really big deal.
He's a big
I know. I'm told this.
he's a really... That's the way that you want to peak this, and that's the way that you want to start it. Sorry for the quality. This is from way back in 2013, so, you know, and It's also probably been pirated 3 or 4 times down the way. But the way that they interview the way that they introduce the segment that presages the interview, yeah, Mika Brzezinski, is that her name? Yeah, whatever. She's connected to one of those old money families as well. But she's at that table. Joe's got the day off, and then those other 2 scrubs that are there. And here's Russell Brand. He's a really big deal, guys, and yeah.
Not very pop culture, I'm sorry. Comedian, movie star, author, and host of the show Brand X, Russell Brand. This summer he's embarking on his first ever worldwide
Really big
comedy
deal,
tour, The Messiah Complex. Katty Kay and Brian Shackman are here as well, and he already told Brian that he might want to disrobe. I'm just saying.
I just thought maybe I could loosen up a little, show a little more chest hair, and he said maybe I should do a little more.
I only think Russell can do that. You look fantastic.
That is a very kind compliment. You also look beautiful. Brian, you are free to wear whatever you want. This is one of your freedoms that is afforded to you.
I appreciate that.
Uh-oh. Silver boots? The boots are
I want to see
fabulous.
them. Come on. Put them on the table.
Kinky boots time.
Wow.
There are some boots.
Those are nice. Put your feet up. Relax.
Remember who asked him to put his boots up on the table? Very professional show that they have right there.
I wouldn't do that. I don't want to disrespect your program.
Okay, no.
You did ask to see
No, I did,
boots,
and I
you're
liked
a fellow English woman, so
And we
I felt obliged.
we talked about kinky boots recently. So
Yes, it's a fantastic show. You have to go. Okay, Russell. Ooh,
Sorry about that. I
That's
didn't
all
realise
right.
it was just like
Disrespected the table.
giant Jenga. It's like your desk is a puzzle.
It is. I'm sorry about that.
What is
Can
the
I help
solution?
you? I think we could try to pull it back in. So,
There you go, love. Be
Russell
careful,
comes on,
because that's a
breaks the
low-cut
set.
dress.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I'm only
Wow.
flesh and blood. I've got instincts.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tell me what you need to know.
He's a
I'm
comedian
just gonna
on
have
the
to drink
show, and you guys don't know how to handle jokes. Why the fuck did you invite him over? I'm just wondering here.
Here, Patty K.
She has no idea
Messiah
what to do at
Complex.
this point.
That's the name of your tour?
Yes.
Do you have one?
No. It's
Oh.
a mental illness.
Right. And you don't have that either?
I hope that I'm here as a fully qualified professional gentleman.
None of us are
Free from mental illness.
free from it.
None of you. This is a hotbed of neurosis and
Insanity.
psychosis.
Yes.
Oh, my word, I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah,
But Joe's not here, so there are no messiahs.
that's true.
You know how I don't know if Russell went over this before his appearance on Bill Maher, but that's very interesting that this lingers so much in his mind, just knowing that, oh, okay, mass media is just total fucking garbage, so you can go ahead and disregard that. Just this train wreck of an interview, because as you can see, they haven't really discussed anything so far. It's just like their first meeting right here. Like, you think that, you know, you're going to have somebody who is of some renown. Like, this was 2013. I think forgetting Sarah Marshall has already popped off. He was at least announced, or something was in the works when it came to that reboot of Arthur that he was going to star in. It's like, how the fuck do you follow Dudley Moore? But even still, you know, like, Russell Brand was definitely popping. This was probably the biggest he was prior to him popping off in the other sphere for infamy, or for infamous reasons now. Okay, wasn't he fucking Katy Perry at this point in time? Like, there was a... How can you be this unprepared for a guest? That's just... Oh, it's just wild. But no, you don't know you don't know how difficult it is. Like, that motherfucker's probably still out there punching air. Like, Jesus.
Although we actually bring more mental illness to the table than we admit, at least on this side here, for sure. So tell me about the tour. You're starting in Abu Dhabi? Is that where it began?
Yeah, it's in a lot of Middle Eastern nations and South Africa and all across Europe, and of course in your wonderful country and in our country. I'm very, it's a really good tour. I'm talking about Malcolm X, Che Guevara, Gandhi, and Jesus Christ, and how these figures are significant culturally, and how icons are appropriated and used to designate consciousness and meaning, particularly posthumously.
And this is why his publicist stinks. Like, I understand this is TV, but this is where you put Russell Brand for an interview.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, he is 1,000 times more charismatic than everybody else. He's engaging everybody that's there, but everybody's in their buttoned-up suits. Well, please tell me exactly what jokes you will be telling. Hell, do you even have one right now for us so that we can end the segment on a good zinger? It's like, yeah, exactly. And then Jimmy's just going to go ahead and break this down here. I've watched this 100 times.
This is where your publicist throws you instead of on a show where you're talking to the people who will come and see you.
Right. Yeah. They're not.
no one is watching Mika
and
be like, oh, yeah, well, I want to see this guy.
Now I got to go see Russell Brand.
It's fucking, and I'll say
I
this
could
for
have stopped
Mika.
after no one is watching Mika.
She's trying, though. Like, I don't
She
hate her
is?
as much as I Yeah,
That's
after
true.
she said that stupid thing, she's trying to laugh and be fun. Like, she's trying to make, she's just unprepared.
I think she's lost.
Yeah, she's
I
completely
agree.
lost, and it
Very
gets way
nervous.
worse.
Okay.
Because they kind of start mocking him, and you'll see.
All
What
right.
brings all those people together?
They're all people that died for a cause. They're all people whose icons are used to designate meaning, perhaps not in the manner in which they intended.
I kind of like that. That sounds dead serious. Then.
It's funny when you do it as a joke. I don't take it seriously. I'm just want to do it on stage.
Can't we get, like, 30 seconds now?
What?
Oh
really,
my
love.
God.
I mean-
Doing the classic, you're a comedian, and got any jokes for us? It's like, yo, he just told you the lofty concepts that he's going to be exploring during this tour. Do you think he has a 30-second snippet that he could just drop for anybody? Are you that fucking dumb? Do you want to hear a knock-knock joke? Knock-knock, I'm leaving.
Jesus. What a dumb question.
Go. I hope that's not your message to Gandhi and the people of India.
You know,
You
it's
set
funny
yourself on
though
fire for
because
30 seconds.
I
That'd be
travel
great.
a lot. And
All these people are at work, are they?
Yeah, they're working.
They're just at work.
Well, no.
Work more quietly.
They're Facebooking, actually.
What are they doing?
Facebooking.
They're
Holy
Facebooking.
fuck, this is a
Yeah.
time
Shopping.
capsule.
I bet they
Facebooking,
can't
huh?
look at pornography. I bet it's blocked on their websites, huh?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
But they're allowed to look at, if they wanted to, they can tweet, they can Facebook.
Yeah?
They have to. That's part of
They're
their
probably
job.
tweeting right now.
They're tweeting themselves senseless back there.
Yeah.
Lovely. That's to create the atmosphere
It's
of we're
supposed to be an
a hotbed of
interview, by the way.
Walking news.
Very professional.
Yeah.
They're actually actors.
They're all fully qualified
rented them.
actors.
Yeah.
They're all just now looking for acting work.
So people, I mean, you have a pretty broad range here. I'm going to ask a serious question. Can I try? I'll try.
Try. It's never
Okay,
going to
I'll
work.
try.
Go ahead.
Jesus.
Everyone asks, what do you like better, TV, movies, or stand-up? But which one's more difficult? I mean, going on stage, I think, is probably pretty tough. A movie can be boring because you shoot a thing 100 times. TV
No, you just
is
go
what
back
it
to your
is.
canned questions right here.
Challenges in all of those different disciplines. The thing I enjoy most is stand-up comedy because you're direct with your audience. You can't be misinterpreted. People can't get confused. You know what happens if you work in media? People like to
Mika hasn't even asked
change
anything or
the
done it. She's
information
just
so that it
reacting
suits a particular agenda.
uncomfortably.
If you're in a room with people, then what you're saying is clear. If you say something that people are confused about, you can explain it to them then. If you say something as a joke, people can't pretend that you're saying it seriously. So I like having direct communication with people.
They're like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about right now. All we like to do is just read the questions that we have in front of us right now and ask our very banal and safe questions. So, why are you going on this diatribe, sir?
With people, because I believe people are very, very intelligent, but the information gets manipulated a lot, and people like to cause fake stirs.
Is this show
and stuff.
live?
You know, funny, the
Does it?
accent, when I see him in person, it's totally fine. Forgetting Sarah Marshall or the TV show, it's fine. But on satellite radio in the car, I can't understand a single joke you say.
You can't understand it.
Can you
I can't.
understand me?
Yes, but I'm telling you, when I'm driving in the car and everyone's laughing in the audience of the radio, I'm like, I have no idea what he's
It's
saying.
best you focus on your driving, Brian. You're a man, you don't want to be distracted by humour. You might crash into a pedestrian.
So it's a good thing.
I think it's probably for the best.
I think I'm just this is my first
brand experience.
Brand, yeah. I think it's not listening to him. It's experience. It's just sort of taking it all in.
You are talking about me as if I'm not here and as if I'm an extraterrestrial. You know I'm from a country
You're
that's
kind of
near
shop
to
window
you.
dummy. We're just sort of admiring the whole,
Yo, what
it's
the
the whole
fuck?
thing. Isn't
Well,
it?
thank you for your
like
casual
sculpture.
objectification.
It's an experience.
I'm glad that it's positive for
It's
you.
very positive, absolutely. Any other questions? I'm a little nervous.
You've become nervous. Why are you nervous?
Really? No,
Yo, she's wearing her shoulders as earrings right now. What the fuck? Like, you just add something to the fucking broadcast, you dumb bint. Jesus.
Full woman, you've got a lovely job. What seems to be the trouble?
I don't know.
You've got a hair like Princess Diana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I've never
When she was
No,
alive, it wasn't being offensive.
She was alive.
Subtext.
Yes.
I'm petrified of her, and you
Are
have
you?
her on her heels.
She's just moved down the
I
other end of the table.
absolutely love this. Keep
Really,
keep
what's
going.
okay.
What seems to be the trouble?
Everyone hates
Well,
Mika.
now we're going to do a bit of therapy.
Oh, it's just normally that we just talk to stupid, bland politicians, and then they just tell us that they just want to do good for America. Very professional stuff that they have right here.
You see, the British woman is now calling him Willie.
Right.
Willie.
because she thinks that's his name.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he's
went from Russell to Willie.
Wait, she's not talking. That's not Willie Geist, right?
Willie Geist is not.
No,
in the
no,
Oh my
no.
God. Okay, wow.
All right, she's calling him Willie.
Right.
Mika now has no idea what to do. She says she's nervous, but she's just lost.
Right. Yeah.
She doesn't know how to conduct an interview with this guy.
Right. And because she doesn't know anything about him.
Nothing about him, and she doesn't know how to conduct an
still
interview
on the
with
air,
a
by the way.
pop culture guy.
Right.
Like she'll sit there and probably talk to a politician if she's prepared enough, but I don't know. Right.
Jump ahead.
It's mannequins.
She's just moved down the
I
other end of the table.
absolutely love this. Keep
Willie,
going.
What seems to be the trouble, love?
No, I'm good. Well, now we're going to do a bit of therapy. Would you do therapy with Willy Brandt?
With who?
Willy Brandt. Would you do therapy with him?
Yo.
That's where he's heading.
Okay, I'm all right.
You shouldn't say he when a person is present. You should refer to the person by their name. That's basic good manners.
That is where Willie is heading.
Willie.
Who is Willie?
Fuck is Willie?
Okay, Russell Brand.
Is this what you do for a living?
Yes.
Okay, but I'm here to.
Professional.
Okay, well let me help you. I'm here to promote a tour called Messiah Complex. It's here for the people of America. I want the people of America to come and see me do stand-up. Go to russellbrand.tv where you can purchase tickets to see me. These people, I'm sure, are typically very, very good at their job. What is it? You're conveying news to the people of America. People of America, we're going to be okay. Everything's
kind of funny. She's kind of funny. Like that was a knowingly comedic sip.
People
right?
of America.
Like,
I want the people of America to come and see me do stand-up. Go to russellbrand.tv where you can purchase tickets to see me. These people, I'm sure, are typically very, very good at their job. What is it? You're conveying news to the people.
Typically good at their job. Today, well, they forgot their guest's name. The other one had no idea what questions they were going to ask, and then the goofy guy just asked me for 30 seconds of my set. The fuck is going on?
Of America. People of America, we're going to be okay. Everything's all right. These are your trusted anchors. There's that news link. Here's your papers. I'll shuffle them for you.
Shuffle. Look.
Give us that.
That's good. Pen. You need a pen.
Okay, coming up later. Thank you very much, Kat. Okay, we're going to be talking about the situation with Edward Snowden. This whistleblower, is it good what he's done for America, or are our secrets being jeopardized by his intentions? We're going to be talking about that. Also,
just peek this for a second. Like, okay, he showed up in order to promote his show, and yeah, obviously probably discuss some things that you would normally talk on a round table discussion, so he had topics prepared. But the hosts couldn't be asked to do it. The producers couldn't be asked to fill in the blanks that he was going to be kind of a learned individual. Even back in the cut, 10 years ago at this point in time, 10 years ago, he was already plugged in on this stuff. This is the reason why I can differentiate Bill Maher from Russell Brand, because Bill Maher, if you go back and you take a look at some of his old stuff, he has been that crotchety old clout chasing fuck for forever. But Russell Brand, you run it back 10 years, brother's still plugged in. He was calling out the horseshit on MSNBC 10 years ago, at least a half decade before anybody else started to realize that they were kind of a joke organization. So shout out to Russell for keeping it 10 toes down and being intensely congruent. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.